what insanity looks like. I'm digging this insanity one for some reason. Grow the fuck up. That big house, that basketball court. Yo, you is rich. You been rich, to be honest.
Attacking me, and I had to fight him off. And I had to do it because it was following me around my whole day. And look all the pain I've been through. But it's all.
Please no, this one crazy. Y'all are that scared of a YouTube video? Holy.
Over because I ended it today. You can believe that.
I like that sometimes.
But you guys need to understand me that I am not crazy.
The story behind this bizarre episode is an act so unbelievably gruesome, it's what horror movies are made of. Be forewarned, you're about to view one of our most disturbing cases yet.
Ruidoso Downs 911, where's your emergency?
Hi, I'm at the Ruidoso Downs Fire Department.
Yes, sir.
I picked up a guy who seemed really confused. I let him out, and he started attacking other vehicles. And
Is he still being combative, sir?
Well, I don't think he's very dangerous.
His perception of the man couldn't be more wrong. A series of surreal events are about to unfold right before your eyes in the following footage that has never been seen before. An unspeakably brutal act will be uncovered, and the reputation of a once adored historic area will be forever tarnished. At this very moment, a peculiar but seemingly unrelated situation is unfolding about 10 miles from the fire department.
Yo, the ring camera
a deputy has been dispatched to the Vasco Ranch located in Glencoe, New Mexico, to perform a welfare check. And something isn't right. The scenic area situated in the Ruidoso River Valley has an eerie feel on this evening. And for good reason, we'll come to learn.
This house looks crazy.
There's no response at the main residence. Is the individual supposed to be 97 here on scene?
Yes, sir. That's where she was when he was speaking with her. Apparently she does not live at the main house. She's going to live in a mobile home on the east side of the property.
Sheriff's Department! Received no knock. Answer to the knock here either.
Cop voice. Yo, Cobb. Aiden Ross Cobb.
Sheriff's Department! Hello?
After a thorough search of the exterior, the deputy has found no trace of the woman in question and caretaker of the ranch, Mary Ann Morehouse. It's as if she's fallen off the face of the earth.
The front door of the residence
Gotta run over
is
this
open,
type of cop.
screen
I'm
door,
running from him.
but nobody's answering
Literally
from
running.
inside. Is there another available deputy? Send me another unit. I need to make entry.
The responding deputy can do nothing but wait for another unit to arrive. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, police locate the subject of the 911 call and cautiously approach him.
What happened to you? I had a really bad day.
Bruce, you weigh 150, shut the fuck up. That literally means I could get away faster than yo 350-pound weighing ass.
I've been through a lot. I
Fuck
lost my dog. I went into a river. I've been lost all day. I need some help. Okay.
We're here to help. Being 150.
You're acting a little incoherent, sir. Okay.
Here's an example of how the context of a situation matters when it comes to body language analysis. The man frequently crosses his arms, which could be interpreted as him being closed off or trying to self-soothe. However, a few moments later, the police officer motions for him to come with them to get you in where it's a little warmer. With that additional information, the crossed arms can likely be explained away simply by the man being cold. This is why it's important to look at the whole picture when considering what someone's body language.
Unless you own 600-pound life, then that's when I say it's too far.
Which means, after he's escorted into the police station, officers learn the identity of the agitated man.
To get out of bed and shit. Way too far. Childish.
After a short while of observing Andrew's overwhelmingly strange behavior and apparently chalking it up to drug abuse or psychological issues, officers guide him to an ambulance outside the police station.
If I ever needed a crane to get out of bed, would y'all laugh at me, bro? Be honest, bro, please.
It's going to take more than a leash to control Andrew, considering the state he's in. Deputies will soon witness how Andrew's strange behavior can abruptly shift to erratic and violent, and in the blink of an eye. Andrew is transported to Lincoln County Memorial Hospital in hopes that emergency medical intervention will provide him with the help he so clearly needs. Unfortunately, while here, things will escalate from this bizarre situation to downright insane. After the responding deputy has waited at the ranch for nearly an hour, unable to proceed any further until backup has arrived, an additional deputy is finally available to assist. They waste no time in resuming the search. The situation is alarmingly suspicious.
It's over there, Charlie. We gotta drive up to it. Some sketchy shit, man. The door is open and the bedroom window's open and the TV's on and there ain't no sound in there and there's 3 cars. So there's somebody here and cut off. Shit's weird. Give me a bad vibe, man.
Both deputies carefully approach the property and prepare themselves for entry, as they anticipate that they may happen upon something terrible. There are just too many warning signs to believe there could be a plausible explanation for the woman's absence.
Sheriff's office!
The fuck did he do?
I'm gonna come in and check on you. Sheriff's office.
It's strange. It's real strange, man.
But there's no one to be found inside the premises. In fact, nothing even appears to be out of place, and there's no sign that any type of struggle has occurred. Things just aren't adding up. What's happening here? Though they don't yet know it, the deputies are on the threshold of unearthing something worse than they can imagine. They continue to search outside.
We secured the residence. I don't know. What else you reckon?
What else you reckon?
She was supposedly on the phone with the RP and says somebody's here. I mean, who walks off at a night like this? I thought we were going to go in there and find something bad.
Oh, yo, Maz, change the game.
In just a matter of minutes, the deputy will receive a haunting confirmation that his instincts shouldn't be taken lightly.
There's definitely something weird, but I don't know what it is.
Or do I gotta do it?
Strange. We're going to be out at the main residence now. The RP is kind of freaking out, saying, oh, there's definitely something wrong. I'm like, yeah, it's weird, but I don't know.
Oh.
And let's drive down there and see if we find any other house.
Let's make myself how to sub.
The deputies inspect the exterior of one more property, and in a split second, the situation has evolved from suspicious to unspeakably horrific.
Hey! Down, we got somebody down.
The horrific truth of the discovery will be revealed during the interrogation of the disturbed suspect.
We got to start clearing this. Suspect could still be on scene.
The deputy is desperate for more backup at the scene. The urgency of the situation is crystal clear.
Okay, Charlie. She's down. It looks like a she, elderly female. This motherfucker's still here. Anybody comes up on us is getting fucking smoked, dude. I'm gonna tell you that. Do it up, man.
All the while, Andrew is settled and sleeping. He was sedated upon his arrival at the hospital.
Jesus.
A deputy has been assigned the task of watching over him and ensuring that only hospital staff and officers enter and exit the room. Not long into his shift, the deputy receives a call from another member of the sheriff's office who is stationed at the scene of the crime. And the caller has an intriguing request.
Yes. I've got them in a bag. They're a pair of construction kind of boots. It's more like a curved tire tread than like a diamond pattern. I'll try to send one back to you.
The deputy captures photos of the outsoles of Andrew's boots and fires them off right away. It seems the sheriff's office has surmised that the two occurrences are related. The question is, how?
I think the guy at the hospital is the dude, and he had a freaking meltdown or something. Imagine if this fucker hitchhiked to the hospital. Imagine the guy that just gave a fucking dude like that a ride. You know, the sad part, Charlie, is this is a beautiful place. It was.
The brutal crime will forever taint the property.
Something like that happening out here.
Must get to the bottom of the dire
like
situation
2 hours to get
before
to the fucking
another
house.
life is lost. Somewhere around 1 a.m. marks the very stage where Andrew's odd behavior has taken a drastic turn.
Man.
He has become extremely violent.
Hey, Cox, go with Jason, please.
Like how to
Jason's the one
live
hit.
on farms.
Anybody else get it? No, just one shot.
Somehow, a sudden struggle erupted when, out of nowhere, Andrew leaped from his hospital bed and attacked a deputy. Immediately, 2 more deputies rushed to assist. In the midst of all the chaos, a handgun was knocked out of one of the deputies' holsters. Andrew managed to grab the weapon before any of the other 3 could get their hands on it, and he fired a shot directly into the arm of one deputy. He pulled the trigger again, and by some sort of miracle, the weapon failed to fire.
Andrew, you okay?
All right.
Can you calm down some?
Yeah, okay. I don't know what I'm doing there, but I can't figure it out.
I know, just
and I need some medication.
We're getting shackles. Okay, we're gonna put him back in here on the bed.
Yo,
Doctor,
good.
check
Cut
him.
the hoe off.
You roll him over?
Yep.
Oh, I'm feeling zaxby tomorrow, chat. What we feeling?
Yep. Stand up. You got another thing of shackles?
Yeah.
What kind of shackles you use? Like, just one. I'm gonna put one on this and one to the bed.
Alright. Okay.
Remarkably, Andrew's episode continues into the morning, despite the sedatives he has been given.
Man, you guys don't understand me. I do one little thing and... I'm sorry, I told you I was sorry.
2017, 04, 02, I was probably somewhere on 2K17.
Guys, I'll live a happy life. I promise I will be happy. I always wanted to be by myself somewhere.
Hi, Andrew. I'm gonna give you a shot in your leg, okay? It's the same medication I gave you earlier. Okay? Or do you want it in your arm? It's gonna
guys, I'm gonna be okay.
We're trying to help you.
I'm gonna be okay though. I'm gonna be okay. I want stuff right now. I haven't had a drink in 5 days. I've ate worms. I'm going nuts because of this. And I know what it's all about now. I need to chill out. I am going to be chill. No! I don't want to go there. You guys. Man, how could you do this to me?
Poke.
Andrew is speaking rapidly and with a sense of urgency. He may be experiencing pressured speech, which can be caused by a few different mental health disorders, including bipolar disorder. It's also possible he's feeling panic due to being constrained, and his rapid speech is an attempt to calm his anxiety. He seems to lack awareness about the seriousness of what landed him in this situation. This difficulty with insight could also be the result of a mental health disorder, or it could simply be him failing to take responsibility for his actions. Shortly after, Andrew is administered another sedative. He will soon be cleared for release and taken to his next destination.
This is a prescription cleared for cocaine incarceration with medical, and this is the medication, but this is saying he's cleared to go to jail.
We're gonna do a blood draw here in a second, boss.
I understand, but do they have to be this tight? Man, it hurt bad, dude. Been through a lot for everybody. You guys don't know. You guys don't know what I've been through these past few days.
Andrew will soon explain exactly what happened over those past few days.
What?
Or at least his perception of what happened. You won't believe the bizarre story he has to tell.
Mr. McGill.
You guys are doing the wrong thing.
Let's go. Okay. Come on.
Andrew is released from the hospital and transported to Lincoln County Detention Center. It's the following day, April 3rd, when the undersheriff and another member of the sheriff's office sit down with Andrew to get his rendition of the events that led to this very meeting. One of the most disturbing elements you'll see is that he seems to genuinely believe the psychotic delusions are real.
I know it's not me, sir, and I don't know what to do. It scares me bad.
I've given them too much of my
Everybody
money.
seemed like they were going to hurt me or something like that, you know?
And this is the very definition of a delusion. The person with them does believe it is real. Someone experiencing a delusion cannot distinguish between what is reality
20 was only
and what
good because
isn't.
it was COVID. Stop.
One common type of delusion is known as a persecutory delusion, where a person may believe that someone else is out to get them or is spying on them, which could lead to paranoid or violent behavior. These kinds of delusions may occur due to a psychological disorder such as schizophrenia, or they could be the result of substance abuse. The following footage from Andrew's interrogation is utterly chilling. The undersheriff starts the interrogation by inquiring about Andrew's personal life. Right away, the undersheriff begins to build rapport.
So this is the first time that I've met you. Yeah. What's your full name? Andrew P. McGill. Where do you work?
I don't work. I go to school right now. I'm a student at ENMUR, aviation technician. Tell me a little bit more about you. Are you married or?
Yeah.
Any kids?
Yeah, 1 3-year-old daughter.
Soon the undersheriff changes course and refocuses the conversation on recent events that have taken place. Namely, his alarming breakdown, the attack and shooting at the hospital, and an utterly horrific crime he will soon describe.
So tell me what's been going on in your life recently. How do you end up in here talking to me?
I have no idea. I've been having a weird week. I can't remember. It's like I can't remember anything.
I gotta ask, do you use drugs?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What kind of drugs? What's the
Any kind of drugs. Like, I used meth, heroin, cocaine, marijuana.
How long have you been using drugs?
For most of my life until I was like 15.
So your drug of choice is
meth.
Meth?
It's a possibility that use of drugs could explain Andrew's strange behavior. Methamphetamine has been associated with violent behavior. It can also trigger psychotic symptoms like hallucinations and delusions in as many as 40% of users. Of course, quite an array of other substances could also cause the type of behavior Andrew has been exhibiting.
When's the last time that you saw your wife and your daughter? What do you remember about that?
I remember they were scared of me, and I remember I was scared of them, and they were just leaving me behind.
Methamphetamine use can also trigger the user to experience paranoia. That, in combination with hallucinations and delusions, could be one explanation as to why Andrew might have been afraid of his wife and daughter.
Yo, I'm cheesed. Shut your bitch ass up. Bitch, I'm watching it.
Notice that Andrew is shifting around
gotta
a
go
lot,
to work?
leaning forward, leaning back.
Where y'all work at? I work at Mickey D's.
Moving his feet as well as frequently looking away from the detectives.
Supermarket?
Normally, someone might see these behaviors as signs of anxiety or dishonesty. But since we know that he has a history of both drug use and hallucinations, this doesn't necessarily mean he's lying or is trying to hide something.
That boy tweaking, he's locked his crazy ass nigga up, but please.
I don't understand it at all, sir.
With this admission, officers trained in interrogation methods should know to tread carefully and avoid any of the normal attempts to suggest reasons for why the crime was committed. He may be highly suggestible, and there is the chance of implanting false memories. The Reed technique advises against using these steps anytime there is a potential memory impairment.
Something bad happened in your life in the last few weeks, or?
This might sound ridiculous and crazy. It probably is ridiculous and crazy, but it's the truth.
And I don't like that term crazy.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It may sound strange, but it's how you feel. Just tell me whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I was just sitting at home when my brother and my twin brother Philip was sitting at the house. We started talking, and then all this weird stuff started happening to me. So I felt like something was after me, like something was really gonna hurt me. I was not myself at all. And something told me that I need to go to Reynoso, and everybody's freaking out around me, and I don't know what the heck is going on. I just need to get out of town.
This sounds like Andrew may be describing a persecutory delusion. As mentioned earlier, if Andrew is being truthful about his symptoms, he likely truly believed there was something or someone after him. This is certainly not an excuse for any of his actions, but it could help explain what his mindset was like at the time. As you can see, his body is turned away from the detectives, which could be a sign of deception or signal that he is...
It probably is ridiculous and crazy, but it's the truth. I don't want that happening to me. So I felt like something was after me, like something was really gonna hurt me.
I'm so
hungry.
hungry.
I was not myself at all. And something told me that I need to go to Reynoso, and everybody's freaking out around me, and I don't know what the heck is going on right now. I just need to get out of town.
This sounds like Andrew may be describing a persecutory delusion. As mentioned earlier, if Andrew is being truthful about his symptoms, he likely truly believed there was something or someone after him. This is certainly not an excuse for any of his actions, but it could help explain what his mindset was like at the time. As you can see, his body is turned away from the detectives, which could be a sign of deception or signal that he is disengaged in the conversation. However, his body language doesn't appear to match his behavior. He's being cooperative with detectives so far and answering the questions openly. This is another example of why you can't rely on a single deceptive cue, such as lack of frontal alignment, to accurately determine if someone is telling the truth or not. Most people display a mix of deceptive and truthful indicators, so detectives will be taking note to see which type of behaviors they see most often. Andrew got into his truck and began driving, radio blaring, trying to get away from the mysterious evil he believed was following him.
I could hear my dad talking to me saying, "It'll be okay, son. Just listen to what I'm going to tell you. You're going to be okay."
But then he possessed my dad.
Just as Andrew stated before, he wasn't himself. He explained that he started doing things that he didn't want to do.
I'm a normal human being. It just happened to me the other night when I was asleep. And I just woke up out of nowhere. I started writing all this stuff down. The Bible is a lie.
Suddenly, he pulled over and abandoned his running truck on the side of the highway. Still trying to get away from whatever he imagined was following him, he ran for the mountains nearby. Just around this time, as fate would have it, Andrew crossed paths with someone else.
And then I went up to this old lady's house, and she's like, "Why are you here? What?"
Marianne Morehouse, caretaker of the Coe Ranch, had been on the phone with a friend that evening. During the course of the conversation, she mentioned that someone was on the property and that she was going to investigate.
Who the fuck is
According to her
living on
friend,
a
the call
barn?
then ended abruptly. When all of his calls to Marianne went unanswered, he became extremely concerned. So much so that he contacted local police and asked they head to the property and perform a welfare check on Marianne.
She started asking me all these weird questions. I thought she was after me again, because I felt like she was getting possessed by something, a dark entity all the time, back and forth, back and forth. Like, and then I would talk to her, and then she'd snap out of it, and then she'd go back to being weird again. And I was like, man, what is going on right now? Maybe if I just end her life, this will be over with.
Andrew continues his account of what he alleges happened that evening. Outlandish as it seems, we already know that at least part of it is true.
So I went back and I punched her in the head. She got knocked out. This is a long story.
That's fine. Got all day now.
Andrew claims that his brother Philip was talking to him at this time, pleading with Andrew not to cut his head off.
I felt like maybe he was the possession in my life and I needed to end him, but I couldn't find him anywhere, so I just had to end this lazy life that was possessed.
What Andrew states next is absolutely chilling.
So I knocked her out and chopped her head off with an axe.
And I had to chop this lady's head off with an axe. I bum marked her bone like that. Got an axe.
What kind of medications do you take?
I don't take anything. You guys think I'm crazy, man.
That was exactly what the deputies encountered at the ranch.
Hey! Down, we got somebody down. We got somebody down. Right there, axe, there's an axe. This. Send more than that, it's a homicide. Additional units, let's back up.
The scene was grislier than anyone could imagine.
There's an axe laying next to her and she got it in the head. Get some SP out here. We're gonna need additional assistance. It's gonna be a homicide.
A blood-coated axe had been set down close to where Marianne lay. Her head was almost entirely severed from her body. One particular laceration appeared to extend at least half of the depth of her head. Her body was completely covered in blood, and it was later determined that she was struck with the axe 4 times.
Do you think that you were that your presence or scared her?
No, not at all.
When do you not think that?
Because I was being polite and honest and well accepted. Except for the fact every now and then she'd look at me like all crazy, like, wait, what is this? You know?
Shut up, man.
Just freaking me out.
Okay. So you were being polite with her and wanting her to call?
Because I just wanted to mouth, I was scared.
But was she being polite with you?
Yeah.
Where did the axe come from?
In the back of the truck that was parked right there. I think she got possessed by this guy, and that's when I started getting scared, so I had to do something. I punched her and knocked her out first before I did anything with that.
The detective is doing a good job of coming across as non-judgmental and non-confrontational, given the horrific nature of the crime. This likely is making it easier for Andrew to open up because he doesn't feel judged. If the detective was more aggressive in his approach, This could either prompt Andrew to have an outburst, or it could cause him to shut down. In his version, it was the devil's doing, not Andrew's.
The devil was attacking me, and I had to fight him off, and I had to kill somebody to get rid of him. I am the real son of God, and this is why I have that tattoo on me, and I hate evil. I was trying to get rid of it out of this earth, and I am the son of God. Trust me. I love you guys. I am on your side. I'm good.
I would have never done that ever in my life. I feel so bad for that old lady. Really bad.
Do you feel bad because you know that was wrong, or?
Yeah, I know for sure that was wrong. But I couldn't stop him, man. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't be myself. And I'm still not myself. I don't know what it is.
Although Andrew says that he feels bad, his level of emotion doesn't match the severity of what he did. In his mind, he may be justifying his behavior because he felt like he couldn't control himself. It's possible that he sees himself as a victim to his own mind, and is therefore struggling to take full responsibility for what he did.
So, and it hit me the other day because I started becoming mature, and it just, all this knowledge just started coming to my head, and I was like, holy cow, what is going on? I even called my mom, I was like, Mom, there's something wrong with me. I was like, I need some help, Mom.
Were you using that?
No. I wasn't using any drugs, no.
It's possible that Andrew is being honest, and he wasn't actually under the influence of meth at the time of the murder. Interestingly, psychosis that was initially triggered by meth use can be a long-lasting issue. Even if the person abstains from drug use in the future, psychotic symptoms may return, often triggered by stress. However, the exact onset of his symptoms is unknown. It's possible that his hallucinations and delusions first happened when he was using drugs, or they may have been the result of a psychological disorder such as schizophrenia.
I mean, I feel like my head is over thinking, and it's like no matter what kind of drug anybody gives me or anything, I just can't quit thinking. And it leads me to bad
That nigga just told me to stay off that fence.
It's not me.
What
I'm just scared of my own self. I'm scared of everybody, and I just want everybody to love each other and be happy.
There seems to be a contradiction here. Andrew states he wasn't using any drugs, but admits he uses drugs in an effort to calm terrible thoughts he claims to have.
So
the conversation then shifts to the shooting that took place at the hospital.
And then at the hospital, I shot some guy in the elbow, and I don't know why I did that. I was scared still. I just didn't know what I was doing at all. It's like, what? I've never felt like this in my life. And it's like scary.
His story isn't making sense, despite the fact that he has admitted to savagely killing Marianne and shooting the deputy at the hospital. As they continue their efforts to gain some clarity on what really happened that night, they move to the subject of Andrew's trek to the police station.
Do you remember going to the Downs TV? Do you remember talking to, getting a ride into town?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, I was walking down the street. After all that bad stuff happened with the old lady, after that was done, I was running down the street, and then some guy just pulled over out of nowhere and was like, hey man, do you need a ride? And I told him, yeah.
An officer caught up with the Good Samaritan who'd offered Andrew a ride moments after he'd parted ways with him.
Are you the one that dropped him off?
Yeah, I dropped him off here. Last time I saw him,
it's Brian from Family Guy's car.
About 10 miles down the road, he was walking across the road, in the middle of the road.
Gas, though.
I stopped and he was very confused, talking very weird stuff. And I thought I'd give him a ride to the police station up here. I just asked him to get out of the car with me. He complied, but yeah, he's just acting really crazy.
Okay. All right, well, we appreciate you dropping him off. Let's try to figure out what's going on with him.
Next, the undersheriff inquires about something else Andrew said while at the police station the previous night.
Do you remember talking to those officers? Because you told them that you had hurt somebody else, too. A man.
I did?
That's what you told them. You said that something about Arthur. Who's Arthur?
Oh, I did say that.
I'm sick of that guy following me around. His name is Arthur. He goes to my school. He's one of my students. He's had a grudge on me.
Who's Arthur? I thought he was like the devil or something in my class.
To kick so we can watch porn
Like
on
I'm crazy,
stream.
but this is what I believe in.
What the fuck?
This is the point where things take a turn for crazy. We'll get a better and quite disturbing glimpse into his twisted mind. At least, what he claims is going on in his head.
And he was out to get me for some reason, trying to, and like he had spring break, just all coming together in my head weirdly, but that's who it was. He was trying to follow me, I believe in that.
He goes to school with you, though?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't hurt him?
No, I didn't. I was wishing I did because I thought he was like the Antichrist or something. I was here to take him out to put the world at peace again. Weird. I know, right? And then I felt like he was trying to come out and get me somehow or another. Yeah. And I don't know if it's possible. It could be possible because I've been seeing some weird stuff lately. I've been experiencing a lot of weird things.
So did Arthur go to school with you at EMU?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you saw him?
The last day of school before spring break. I don't even know what day it is. Do you guys know what?
Yeah, it's Monday, April 3rd.
Andrew continues his theory that he's the Son of God and that he's here to save the world.
I went through so much pain, suffering today for the whole world, and I forgive all your guys' sins. And the other day I realized that I was God, or Jesus, and I was forgiving the world's sins, and I was helping you guys out. But I didn't know how to do it because I'm not that smart. But I was trying, and with good intent in my heart, to change the world. And I think I might have accomplished that. And if you guys are understanding what I'm saying, it would help me out. But I'm going through a lot right now.
His speech continues to be disorganized, but so are his emotions. Notice how rapidly and frequently he switches from calm or normal to scared and crying. All of these emotional shifts appear genuine, but it's not something that is typical. Instead, this might be another sign of his impairment.
And I believe that this world is going to be in a peaceful state forever and ever if everybody will accept me for who I am. Yeah.
Have you ever had these issues before, like earlier, like as a teenager or anything?
Never in my life. Never.
The story continues to baffle the officers. Then Andrew brings up a new subject, his daughter.
I love her. I don't know what she's at. I just want to go see her. She's safe.
The officers assure Andrew that his little girl is safe, in the care of his wife. They want more information about what is frightening Andrew so deeply. Despite his claim that he has conquered over Arthur, the student from his college, he is still scared of everyone around him.
You don't remember hurting anybody else?
No.
And, the reason I'm asking is because, you told these officers that you did these things to the lady, right? But you told them that you had done somebody else. So I'm just concerned that that's hurt that I need to locate.
No.
It's a reasonable question, considering Andrew's claim that the undersheriff is referring to.
It's a long story, but he possessed my life. He took over my dad's life. He possessed him, tortured my family. I had to get rid of him.
It seems that Andrew believed that Arthur possessed Marianne, so when he says he had to get rid of him, he's likely referring to killing Marianne. The bizarre account continues as Andrew...
Yo, nigga just told me to pull out that dick. What the fuck? Yo, Chad, I gotta regain some thoughts, bro. I gotta sit in my thinking chair real quick. I just gotta think for like literally 2 minutes, bro.